opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of the station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.
Well, welcome everybody to the JODI Faith Show. It is actually my unbelievable privilege to be here today with a man who represents the Angus Campbell Treatment and Recovery Center. What are we actually calling this, Mr. Ron Hardy?
We're calling it the Angus Campbell Recovery Center.
Period.
Period.
All right, because for a long time it was a detox center.
It was.
Okay.
Well, we've moved on now. Our doors are more open to a variety of treatment, recovery.
Okay. Okay. So I think that as we meet Ron, what we're going to come to discover today is that Ron Hardy is a board member.
That's right.
For the Angus Campbell Center. He's a man who has a great passion to see people overcome addictions in their lives. He's a man who's part of a team of people who are very compassionate about seeing people find positive results. And I don't know, I just think, most importantly, you're kind of a nice guy.
I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, you are.
My experiences have led me to this place.
It's actually been really cool because the JODI Faith Show is just a possibility in the minds of myself and my great producer, Christian Moulding, over at Shaw. And just, I was laying in bed one morning, literally thinking, okay, how am I gonna, what should the first show be about? And all of a sudden I remembered that I'd been given your name. I happen to know that you work with an organization in the Moose Jaw area, that helps people recover kind of from their hang-ups and hurts and stuff. So I just called you up, and who did I discover but this guy on the other end of the phone. Thank you for answering the phone that day, because that doesn't always happen. And yeah, I learned all about Angus Campbell and your involvement there. So what I was kind of intrigued to discover is that you've been part of the vision of Angus Campbell for over 40 years.
Yeah, well, not quite 40 years,
okay.
But probably the vision took off in 1973.
Like really a long time ago.
I was lucky enough to be around at the time and be invited to be a part of that group and start to flush that vision out a little bit and involve a whole lot of people from the community, from all walks of life. We had great participation. Okay. And finally, that vision resulted in the first Angus Campbell Center.
Okay, so let's just talk about something, because I don't know the truth to this answer. Is there an actual Angus Campbell? Was he a guy? Did you meet him?
There was. I never had the honor to meet the man, but he was very active in the recovery community. And so we got his permission and asked if we could honor him by naming the center after him. Okay, so this is like 35, 40 years ago. You moved where? Where did this whole vision begin? Well, we started meeting at the local hospital to begin with. That's where our group began to meet. And our first building was on the 200 block of Main Street South. In Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. In Moose Jaw. Okay. It was a kind of a nice location. It overlooked the valley a little bit and the river a little bit. Okay. Plaxton Lake, which probably wasn't Plaxton Lake at the time, but it is now. Okay. And it was an old CPR bunkhouse in disrepair. It had been empty for a number of years. Okay. So the price was right, and we bought it. And sorry, I'm just laughing because weren't you a railway man? I was a railway man. Like a drunk railway man? I was. Okay, we're not talking about that right now, but that's really funny that you would end up in a CPR bunkhouse. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying that's funny. Yeah. That's cool. Okay, anyways, carrying on. So you're at the bunkhouse, started out. So, yeah, and we approached different levels of government for funding. We were told no, and that didn't deter us too much, I don't think. We went ahead and talked to local communities and local businesses and individuals. Okay. Started getting money coming in, purchased the building, started doing renovations on it, and just kept badgering government until they finally said, okay, we will fund you.
Good badgering. You know, I don't even want to go there because it's one of my great pet peeves in life that we have to badger the government to help us, you know, with some of these projects. We're not going to talk about that. So like we're into the 70s, you guys are operational, things are up and running, you've got some financial support, anything to report to us, you know, what else happened during those early days?
Well, you know, the need was that there was no recovery services in Moose Jaw. Okay. There was facilities in Saskatoon, in Regina. There was 2 beds, I think, in Estevan. And
That's it in the south?
That was it.
Okay.
That was it in the province. So if you needed to, somebody needed help, you would probably say, okay, we can get you in Saskatoon perhaps in a month.
No help today?
No help today. And so in a month, that person could be anywhere. So it was a big problem. We used to haul them down to Mandan, North Dakota.
Oh, really?
Even if there was a bed down there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there was a great need for the service in Moose Jaw.
Okay.
Yeah, big time.
So how many beds were in this first bunkhouse?
There was 12.
Okay, and how full did it get? How quick?
It got full pretty quick.
Really?
We estimated at the time there's probably about 1,500 alcoholics in the Moose Jaw area.
Okay, excuse me. Yes, I'm filling out my census report, and oh yes, are you an alcoholic? Like, who comes up with these numbers? I'm sorry.
I don't know. But you know, today the need is so much greater because in those days it was rare to see somebody with a drug problem.
Yes.
It was quite a rarity.
Yeah, you mean the actual narcotics as compared to alcoholism was a bit of an issue in society, but the whole drug thing wasn't even really out there yet. Okay, you're right, yeah.
So there's so much more of a need today.
Okay.
I mean, we've had, at our new location, in our last full year, we had over 900 clients.
Really?
Really.
Wow, okay, well, let's look at some of these great visuals from the new area there, the new location. I was so excited as we were walking around there. Christian was taking pictures. You got the geese, you got the trees, you got picnic tables that were donated by...
The moose didn't show up, though.
The moose didn't show up. Next time, come on, moose. I kept saying, come on, moose, we want to take your picture here. But actually, we do have some amazing pictures that were donated by somebody who really believes in your project. He actually did some pencil sketches of a moose, and I love these pictures. They are just amazing. And to understand, this fellow actually donated them to a silent auction, and then the silent auction recipient actually donated them back to the center, and there they are. And that moose in that picture is the one that inspired him as he sat out there one day, just kind of what he saw that moose. So I'm going to believe I'm going to go out to Angus Campbell and see your moose. We should name the moose. You should have a moose mascot.
We could do that.
Hey?
Yeah.
I mean, not that everybody else doesn't have one in Moose Jaw or something, but...
So we were in our original building for 12 years.
Okay.
And then we moved out to the new location out on Lakeview Drive in 1987.
Okay.
Where we had 22 beds.
Okay.
And still do have 22 beds.
All right. So you almost doubled your capacity.
Yes.
And you do have men and women there both.
Absolutely.
And what's the deal with the women's, floor? Is there a need for men and women? Would you say that, somebody watching the show today, hey, if you've got a family member, a loved one, a mom, a son, a daughter, like we've got space for all of those people, right?
For sure. And when we go back 40 years ago, it was rare to see a woman in difficulty with alcohol or drugs. Today, it's about 45% of our clients are women.
Really?
Yes, quite a change.
Wow. Now, okay, when you see these clients come in today, are they dealing more with meth? Are they dealing with cocaine? Are they dealing more with alcoholism? Like, where's the numbers panning out,
It looks like about a one-third. So one-third alcohol, one-third drugs, and one-third combined.
Okay, yeah, that would probably, a lot of people certainly don't yet all know my story, but I was a hardcore drug and alcohol abuser. I was good for 40 ounces of scotch on a weekend and a bag of pot a week. So I'd have been part of the 30% combined, hey?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, what else do we want to talk about here? As we consider your center, I was really excited to see some new painting that had gone on. Who's doing this work for you?
It's a variety of people. The money's coming in. We were asking for donations for renovations, and money's come in from different sources. Quite a bit of money's come in from the oil field services down
Paul,
in southeastern Saskatchewan.
Let's face it, that is a huge issue. The whole kind of substance abuse thing is a big thing with those guys that are making big money. Now, are you still government funded? Like, how much of this money is coming from the government now?
Not a nickel anymore. As of April 1st, we are totally free of any government restraint and any government funding. So we are fee for service. It's a brand new experience for us.
Yeah, but that's I would expect that that's just a little scary, no?
It's more than a little scary because we were used to getting regular checks from the government. Operational money, we were always short of money. It was never enough to
even with government support?
Even with the government support. And even running the building right full capacity, which is what we ran in the last couple of years.
Really?
It was still tough to keep the building maintained and make improvements and changes, and yeah.
Well, one of the questions I think that we should answer for our viewers today, Ron, is where are you going from here? I know government funding, support from the community, individuals, like where are we right now? I think there's a huge project going on with renovations and stuff. What does it look like?
Well, it looks encouraging. It certainly is a lot of money to make up, $1 million shortfall to start the year off, but we've got clients coming in. We've had a regular stream of clients. Not the numbers that we need to keep the doors open, but enough to bridge us over until we really get the message out there that we are still open.
Right.
We're just have a different way of doing business now,
okay.
and a little bit of a different format.
Okay.
And the community has been solidly behind us.
Okay.
It's wherever we go, we find support in the community.
That's awesome.
And we're not just talking Moose Jaw in general, in particular, but the community throughout Saskatchewan.
That's awesome.
Really coming forward and eager to help us in any way they can.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. And we're actually going to hear a little bit of Mr. Ron Hardy's personal story, how his Hands United came to be.